But moving on, Kimi Antonelli.
Calm down, okay? Calm down. Calm down. DLPs are going to be on our ass. But I'm going to let you do the talking.
I'm not. Look, it's not like I sit here running a YouTube channel and go, how do I farm the most engagement? No, I did actually get inspired by this because I got inspired to do this segment because both of us spend a lot of time online. We spend a lot of time in the F1 circles, seeing the conversations. And there was a lot of conversation happening, a lot of talk about whether Kimi Antonelli was ready, like following the Belgian Grand Prix specifically. And I kind of want to engage in it. Rather than sitting in Twitter comments and arguing with people there, I'd rather do it in a much more formal, platform. And I got a whole damn podcast. I'm going to use it. I wanted to ask a couple of questions and kind of break down my stance on them. And I want to know what you think too, since you're not really partisan in this. I can't say that I am, right? The question first, is Kimi Antonelli really prepared for this stage? I still feel like he is. He's dominated every feeder series up to this level. Pair of wins in F2 as well, shown the ability to hit the podium already. And the idea that he suddenly lost the ability to be an F1 talent, I think, is a really wild proposition. And is there too much pressure being put on him? I think partly. I think that's a fair question to ask. Has Mercedes put a lot on his shoulders? Yes, but he's so far succeeded within it. And he's so far exceeded expectations. So I just want to know, what do you think about this? Either of those questions, is he prepared? Is it too much pressure?
I would say, I'll answer your first question. Is he prepared? No, but who is? Right? Like, if you're going to sit here and say, yeah, I've driven F3, F4, everything else, F2 and beyond, and I've won the most out of anybody else, then, how could I sit here and be like, okay, but it's interesting because, how is anyone really ready?
I think those series do prepare you. They do a very good job of showing who's talented, who's not talented. I don't think it's a question of his preparedness. He's this, prodigy level talent, right? Now, he was billed to be that. And again, so far he's lived up to that billing, at least in my opinion. But the conversation has been, he's all of a sudden it's too much. And he wasn't ready and Mercedes put too much pressure. Maybe better. Let's line it up a little bit better. Has this been too much pressure from Kimi Antonelli?
One sec.
Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll just pick it up and run with it. As far as it being too much pressure, that being the question. In a nutshell, I don't think it's. Excuse me. I think it has been quite a bit of pressure. Don't get me wrong. I think that being in a top team like Mercedes does create pressure, though. I think that being a member of a team that has the potential to win races, that has the wherewithal to fight at the front, and even in a season that they're not expected to win a championship immediately, preparing him with this kind of pressure is, that's kind of the responsibility. If you're Toto Wolff, if you're, James Allison, if you're the members of the Mercedes hierarchy, I think it kind of becomes incumbent of you to prepare with a certain level of pressure. But I think the excess pressure of, we did a whole Netflix documentary. We did, we followed you along for X, Y, or Z with this level of media, the Netflix documentaries, yada, yada, yada. Drive to Survive. I think it adds the extra eyeballs towards things. But at the end of the day, is it too much pressure? I mean, it's a question, but I don't necessarily think that. I don't think that it's quite too much at the moment, at least not in my opinion. As far as what is the problem, I think that is another question as well. I think in a nutshell, the car is the problem. Mercedes has had an all-hands meeting following the Belgian Grand Prix about the development of the car, with it having some massive issues at Spa. And over the last 7 or so weekends, the car has been a mess. It has been an absolute mess. In Imola, dealing with an engine failure, that's on the team. You can't help that if you're Kimi Antonelli. The performance, having a bit of a rough weekend, the adding excess distractions around that weekend, sure, not necessarily helpful, but you can't help the car blowing up from underneath you. In Monaco, a rookie moment with the DNF in qualifying, that's on him. Own that. But even George Russell's engine failed there, which is another symptom of problems at Mercedes. And then they were both bottled up behind Williams. You can't pass in Monaco. It's kind of a mess. But he did finish the race, performed pretty well, all things considered. Then you go to Spain, can't help it. Another engine failure, not on him. Driving in the points, having a pretty solid day. I think he's in P6 when it happened. And completely ruined his day, right? That's another point-scoring opportunity that, in reality, is not on him. That's team. But then Canada rolls around. We see the potential. Fighting off the McLarens, performing incredibly well in qualifying. George Russell goes on to win the feature race, and he's hanging in there with the likes of Max Verstappen for a decent amount of time, almost chased down Max Verstappen's Red Bull, and very well could have made this a 1-2, maybe if he had that extra little bit more experience. Then you go to Austria. Rookie moment, locked up, crashed. He owned it. That's another big one on him. Not going to pretend like that didn't happen. Go to Great Britain. Isaac Hadjar crashed into him in torrid conditions, and the team botched the strategy even before that point. Sending the drivers out there on slicks when they were certainly not ready for it, taking those big gambles, and a mess of a day, but that's not necessarily his fault in either respect. He's just in traffic, got crashed, car DNFs. That's also not on him either. Then you go to Spa, rounding things out in Belgium. A terrible setup left him with no confidence, both qualifying sessions, and he finished outside of the top 10, outside of the top 15, even with Lewis Hamilton struggling in Spa. First year guys are going to struggle, whether it's a team change, whether it's a setup issue. Both these guys first year new teams. And not to say that he is, of course, Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's one of the greatest of all time, but Kimi's got the potential, and he still managed some overtakes on the race day. Speaking to media afterwards, the team owned the issues that they were having. Did not put the blame on Kimi Antonelli. Oh, he's, just not performing to expectations. Oh, he's not this. Oh, he's not that. Kimi's performed admirably. And if anything, they were emphasizing to him to not let it get you down. This is on us. Don't get hung up on it. It's a bad weekend, but that's on the team. That's not on you. You performed well, did everything we asked you to do. So if you're Kimi Antonelli, overall, 2 on you, 4 on Mercedes. I don't think Kimi is the problem. He's having his share of rookie moments. Do not get it twisted. And by all means, he hasn't been perfect. Every rookie has moments, though. Isaac Hadjar just had a bad weekend. The car sucked, right? No one's running to the social media. No one's running to the F1 comment sections to be like, oh, Isaac Hadjar isn't ready to deal with car problems. Nobody can deal with car problems. You put Lewis Hamilton in a car that sucks, he's going to have car problems, or he's going to have issues too. Each one of these guys has little, things that work well for them, things that don't. But I think if you fix the car, the kid's going to fly. I think that if the car is there, he's just going to keep building his experience. At the end of it all, he's an 18-year-old rookie who is top 10 in the World Drivers' Championship. I think he's triple-digit points. If not, he's creeping up to it, or double-digit points. He's doing well. Mercedes are still in the hunt for P2 in this championship behind McLaren, alongside Ferrari. And realistically, I think the biggest deficit they have is just the experience deficit. In a nutshell, heading into this weekend, we're walking into the Hungaroring once again, a place where he won last year, performed incredibly well, performed very admirably, and hopefully the car can help him deliver on a really, really, really good weekend. I'm not expecting Kimi Antonelli to go out there and win, but he even got a sprint pole position at the Miami Grand Prix. So I don't buy into the discussion that Kimi Antonelli isn't ready. I don't buy into the talk that Kimi Antonelli was rushed, or that this is just too much, or the lights are too bright, or that there's too much pressure. F1 is pressure, like Kevin said. This is a pressure cooker. The best succeed and stick around, and the lesser of the drivers get pushed out. But overall, I don't blame Kimi for most of these issues. I blame Mercedes for having the issues of their own. Some things you can't predict, some things you can mitigate, and some things are rookie mistakes that are going to happen to rookies. Isaac Hadjar has crashed. Isaac Hadjar hit a P20. He's had some good qualities, some bad qualities. That's his competition for Rookie of the Year. Gabriel Bortoletos had some really good moments, had some bad moments. Ollie Behrman, same thing. He's had some really good moments, some bad moments. Liam Lawson, if you still consider him a rookie, has had good moments, and he's had bad moments. And it's up and down the grid. Franco Colapinto, good moments, bad moments. It's up and down the grid. No one's perfect. But at the end of it all, I think that Kimi Antonelli belongs. This is a special, special young driver who's got a really, really, really bright future ahead of him. And we get to look forward to seeing what this guy can do, hopefully for many years to come. I'm a huge Kimi Antonelli fan. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see exactly what this guy's going to bring to the conversation. And honestly, I really hope he has a lot of success with Mercedes. So moving on from that, Kevin gave me plenty of time to sit here and talk and wax poetic about my favorite driver on the grid this year.
Look,
it's
your favorite driver.
There were no issues, and it was perfect.
I had to give you your space. I had to give you your time to shine. I mean, you let me go on my little solo runs for McLaren. I was like, look, this is kid. Everybody's coming at him on the internet. I was like, Tristan's got to do his defending.
I got to stand up for my boy. I got to stand up for my boy.
And who better to do it than Tristan himself?